G'day! In today's video I'm talking about antiviruses in 2022. Personally, I've been in the tech industry for over 10 years and I've seen the evolution of most common viruses to malware, to crypto locker, to now phone scams, where we are in 2022, where everyone wants to call you up, or apparently everyone wants to call you up, and usually demand remote access to your phone, computer, tablet, and do some net banking there, usually involving pinching a large quantity of money or purchasing various cryptocurrency, which has definitely been dropping in the last few weeks. But anyway, my main rant is regarding antivirus programs and software. In the last 3-5 years, I've seen virtually no cases of really any viruses on any computer. Typically, I'll see tracking cookies. I might see a web page hijacker, which an antivirus doesn't usually stop anyway. So the vast majority of stuff I've seen nowadays is all coming down to scams. I usually see it nearly on the daily now. Someone will come in, they will go, "Hi, I had a phone call." Everything starts with, "I had a phone call." Antiviruses don't stop, "I had a phone call." They don't help at all. So what are people paying for? I find that the vast majority of either free and including paid for antiviruses now in 2022 are usually trying to constantly upsell you for various things that you might not need. And they do this in the most evasive way by usually having a toaster pop-up come up from the bottom of the screen and say that, "Oh, you're currently getting tracked. Do you want to currently getting tracked by 47 cookies, or you're getting tracked by this, or currently your computer's running slow. We can speed it up. It's going to cost you a subscription service." And I find that act to be very dodgy. So once you've paid for the specific task, you've paid for the antivirus, it should just do that. If you want to dig deeper into the antivirus, you should be able to find these notifications or their upselling of product, but it shouldn't be constantly getting blasted in your face whenever you're using the computer. Now, what I found the other day was I had a customer come in with a copy of Norton 360. He purchased the digital copy through a store. So he came in with a printout on a receipt that had a product key written on there. This fella had been with Norton for about the last 10 years, and he had no real reason to change until today. What he brought in was, he said, "I cannot find where to enter this product key." And I had to look at the software, loaded up a copy of Norton. I'm used to earlier versions where you could load up the Norton software, and you could typically go to subscription and then go add product key or add license. No option. Load up his account on the website. No option. You have subscriptions, it says one's expired, but you can't actually do anything from there. After a little bit of stuffing around for about 5-10 minutes, which is way too long considering I work in IT. Granted, I don't use Norton. I hate Norton. I despise it, especially more so for this reason. And what I found was there was a spot to sign in. You could enter a product key. Once you've typed in the product key of the digital copy that you purchased from a retail store, it would instantly jump and ask for a recurring annual subscription. So in other words, it's asking for your credit card. What happens if you don't want to give the credit card? You could fill in dodgy information, but there was no way to proceed past this page without entering a credit card of any variety. There was no option to, "I don't want to have recurring payments." There was a tick box to authorize it, but even if you didn't tick that box, you still had to fill out the card details to proceed. The thing that I thought that was really shonky about this was that it didn't even acknowledge that the product key was legitimate. So you've entered the product key, you've clicked next, it didn't even verify and say, "Yep, you've paid for a copy of Norton version blah blah blah." It instantly just said, "What's your card details?" Abruptly and instantly. And if you didn't want to accept that, there was no way that I could find to skip that. Even though the customer had already purchased the copy, the digital license, he could not add it to his account without adding a credit card to it first, even if he didn't want the annual subscription or the annual recurring payments, which was an option. I find that completely shonky, completely dodgy, and I completely said just, return it, refund it, use Windows Defender, Windows Security, and then I went through and explained regarding about antiviruses or viruses to phone scam ratios that I see nowadays. in the last 5 years, I reckon I've probably only seen 1 or 2 legitimate viruses on a machine. People are no longer using WinMX, LimeWire to download executable MP3 files to play on their computer. Everyone's using a streaming service. They're using YouTube, they're using Netflix, they're using Spotify, Google Music, Apple Music, whatever they're using. They no longer need to go into these dodgy sections of the internet to access this content. And because of that, most people aren't really going there, nor the people that are going there usually have their head around what they need to do to avoid getting infected. And usually, if there's no money in getting computers infected, but there seems to be a lot of money in phone scams. So all the people that were previously making viruses, well, why bother? Why not just rip the people off directly while they're on the phone? Which is downright despising, despicable, disgusting. You're ripping off someone on a 1-to-1 ratio, which that is just trash. But the antivirus companies, if you have the antivirus on there, it doesn't stop that. That's the thing that I find even more crazy is you're paying for an antivirus, it's like a security guard at a door. You'll stand there and the antivirus will block shady people coming in, but the phone scam is essentially someone masquerading as someone else calling up and going, yep, I can help you with that. And the person accepting the remote connection is like saying to the bouncer at the front door going, no, he's right, let him in, he's with me. Even though he's not, he's masquerading. So unless antivirus companies, I don't know why they don't already do this, simply block remote connection software. So if they ever block the ports or block the installation of those applications, I feel like that would actually make them almost worthwhile, especially for older people, people that aren't in the tech industry, people aren't clued up, that if their antivirus simply said, no, I'm not going to install AnyDesk, this is used for scams, do not believe the person on the phone. If it had simply produced a warning saying something along the lines of that, are you on a scam call? ? Something as simple as that would make the person think, wait, hold on, who am I talking to? And if it blocked AnyDesk, well, yeah, if it blocked the remote software, I could see them almost being viable in 2022. But all of them now are trying to upsell their service with invasive pop-ups on the desktop experience, or they're trying to get your credit card information before you even use the software. It's downright obscene, obscure, it's deceptive, and my trust in antivirus companies has been gone for about the last 10 years. And I don't think there's very little that they can do to actually regain that trust. As all the goodwill they've had over the years, for example, I used to always have Avast antivirus on most machines. It got to the point with one of the revisions that there's so many pop-ups going on that it's not worth even having on there. So I hope the antivirus companies do find their relevance in the future, but right now they're not really that handy, especially with services on your phone like Google Dialer, Google Messages, which can actively pick up and block scam calls and scam text messages, and that's free. So antivirus companies definitely have to step up their game. Anyway, that's it for today. See you later.